Now, am I getting it? David Malukas? Am I getting it right?
Yeah, David Malukas. Yeah, you can call me Mucus if you want.
Mucus, Malukas. That was going to be one of my questions. Did you ever have a nickname? Now we know already. To start the interview with David Malukas, it's Mucus Malukas. Yeah. That's awesome. You went to high school here in the U.S. of A., right?
Well, I was homeschooled for high school. So last public school I went to
were you first in your class? Being homeschooled, I hope.
Well, yes, being homeschooled, yes, definitely. Yeah, I was the one and only.
Prom king?
Very special.
Okay, great. Where were you homeschooled?
I think it was called L'Oreal Springs. It was based in California, but, homeschooling I just did online on my computer. So, because I did, at that time, I was in Europe all the time, with go-karting and stuff. So, it was just because I was never home.
Wow. So, you didn't get a prom?
Oh, no, I didn't do that.
Missed all that stuff?
Yeah, I missed all that stuff, but it's worth it because now I'm here in IndyCar.
You're at the Indianapolis 500, 106th running of the Indianapolis 500 coming up. How old are you?
I am 20 years old.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
great.
It's been like a long journey, but at the same time, in generalizing terms, it's been quite quick.
Traveling all over Europe and learning how to do this.
Yeah, so I started in go-karts when I was 7 years old, and we did all the U.S. series over here, and then went overseas and went to Europe. Won the X30 Le Mans World Finals, which was a very big deal, especially because I don't think many U.S. Citizens actually won that race in the go-karts. And then the strategy was to learn open wheel cars away, because the whole plan was to come back here, because I always wanted to come back home. I was getting so homesick, so we learned to. I did F4 in the UAE series in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, and then we did the ADAC series in Germany. So I was always living over there by myself, and then once we were at a decent level, I think, of knowledge of open wheel, we came back here and did the Road to Indy series.
How many languages do you speak?
Well, back then I knew how to speak German, well, a little bit of German and a little bit of Italian. I could actually order a pizza in Italy. It was that good.
Wow, nice.
But now all that knowledge has just gone away because,
Throughout your career, when you were in a situation where you were communicating with someone in the pits, whatever, was it always in English?
Yes, it was always in English, but, they had the Italian accent, and anytime, I did something wrong, they would, swear to me in Italian, so.
Teammate Sato,
right.
What's it like? I mean, obviously, he could be your father, as old as he is. But, I mean, there's, no stopping that guy, and it doesn't seem like he's getting any older. But 2 500s from him, what can you learn from him? It seems like a big contrast, at least from an age standpoint, but from a style standpoint, you guys seem to be on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned quite a bit. Going into it, I was so happy to have him as my teammate. I mean, I think it's one of the best people to have. And he's been so open. He's definitely keeping a few tips in his pocket. I mean, of course he would, but no, we've been so friendly, and the tips he's given me has helped me a lot, especially for qualifying day. He gave me many things on how the car's going to react in the 4 laps that I feel like if he wouldn't have told me, I definitely would have freaked out, and then probably would have not had the confidence to keep her flat and get her in P13.
The coin cars in general have been wicked fast, and they have been for the last couple of years. They seem to have something figured out. Same thing in the race. You feel pretty good in the traffic?
Yes, very good. We had the one practice session after all the qualifying was over, where we properly did a good race sim, and Takuma also told me that it's kind of generally how the speed's going to be in the race, because all the earlier practice sessions before qualifying, we were doing some race sims, but he said the average speed of the pack was a lot quicker than what it's going to be. And now that day it was a lot slower, and he said that's how the race is going to be, which when it's so much slower and people are blending in and out, it causes all this conjunction, and so that's kind of what helped me go. And at the start of that practice run, the car was nowhere near for a race run. We lasted 10 laps, and the tires were already destroyed. A stint's supposed to be 30-something laps, and so we were kind of shaking our heads, but thankfully we went in the right direction. Also, Takuma gave us a little bit of data, and by the end of the session, we did 2 full stints, no problem, and we were keeping up with Newgarden, making moves. So I feel very confident going into race.
What was your first Indy 500 experience as a fan, or during the road to Indy, or what was your first experience with this place?
I first experienced it in person back in 2019, because that's also when I was doing the Freedom 100 in Indy Lights, which that race ended shortly. But it's very cool that experiencing as a fan in 2019 and now as a driver, it's a lot. I mean, this is kind of just a dream come true after dream come true after dream come true, and every day. I'm just like kind of absorbing it all in, and I also talk with Takuma and other veterans, and they say, I always ask them, like, so if you were to go back in time, what would be like the main thing, you want to tell your younger self? And they always say to like soak it all in. So I'm kind of using that info from them, to put it to myself. So no matter how the result goes or how the way this month of May has gone, I've been taking it all in, and just, I'm a driver for the Indy 500.
Yeah, it's incredibly cool. Are you a video game guy?
I am, yes.
What's your game of choice?
Game of choice? Well, I mean, a couple of mainstream games like Apex Legends and stuff, but I tend to play more strategic games since I've been getting older, like Hearts of Iron or Stellaris. It's like these very complex games where you kind of have to almost like run a country. But I also play this, it's called, what is it called? Beat Saber. And it's a bunch of blocks. It's actually on VR. There's a bunch of blocks that come at you like really quickly, and you need to hit them in a certain way with a certain stick. And you have 2 sticks, and you need to hit them like really quick. I mean, it's like 1,000 blocks a second or something.
So it's good hand-eye coordination practice? Exactly.
So like if I normally I have that with me, and I will practice it, before a session, just to make sure that, my reaction time and everything's very quick and ready to go. I know some drivers also, just drop a pen and try to grab it, but I'm just really extra, and it's also just a lot of fun because you also get a good shoulder workout.
I was always really good at the fruit cutting game, at the arcade.
Yeah. Yes. Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja, that's what it was. You're always chopping something in half.
Yeah. Do you ever do any of the driving games?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have a simulator, so I have iRacing, R Factor 2, the F1 games. The F1 games, more like just for fun with my friends and just like hitting them in the wall or something. But
what's the best driving game?
Best driving game? I don't know. I think it's going to be compared against iRacing and R Factor 2. There's pros and cons to both. But, I thought the IndyCar simulator that they had for, the pre-race before the season started that we all did in R Factor was actually very impressive. But I'm just going to say that the new IndyCar game is going to be the best one.
Very good. Very good. Well, I feel like we know you. Can we call you Mucus?
Yeah, sure. That can be special to us.
What is the old joke? Someone around here may know it. There was an old joke. It's what's green and shoots a rifle? And wasn't it Mucus McCain? Wasn't that it from the old?
That might be before my time.
Yeah, I think it's before mine. Well, see if anybody knows the Mucus McCain joke. Hey, David, great talking to you, man.
Thank you.
Have a great race.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.